Good afternoon, Miss Ezrin. I'm Gabilan Tiago from TESL A, batch 2328, and I'm going to present about my case study that I conducted last month. So, what are we going to look at today? So, first thing we are going to look at the introduction, which is background of the case study, and then the objective and research, and also findings and discussion, and conclusion and recommendations. So, before I start about my presentation on my case study, so let's look at what is multilingualism. So basically, multilingualism is a skill that has become essential in our interconnected world. It provides cognitive benefits, fosters social connections, and helps individuals appreciate culture diversity. This case study focuses on an 11 years old girl raised in a multilingual environment where she is regularly exposed to English, Malay, and also Tamil. Each language plays a different role in her life. English dominates her interactions, while Malay is a significant part of her schooling and daily life, and Tamil, while a heritage language, is used infrequently. Her case highlights the challenges and opportunities that come with multilingualism, especially for children navigating multiple languages in diverse social settings. So, this case study is important because multilingualism is not just about proficiency, but also it involves adapting to different cultural and communicative demands. By examining her experiences, we can better understand how factors like family life, school settings, and also media exposure shape language learning. For instance, the dominance of English in her media consumption aligns with global trends, while Tamil's limited use illustrates the challenges of maintaining heritage languages in modern contexts. Overall, the study sheds light on the determinants of multilingualism and provides insights into how we can support children in acquiring and retaining multiple languages. So, let's move on into the next one, which is objective and research. So basically, the primary objective of this study is to investigate the factors influencing the multilingual development of an 11 years old child raised in an environment where she is regularly exposed to English and also Malay and Tamil. This exploration seeks to uncover how her immediate surroundings, which is family, interactions, and also school, environment, and media consumption, shape her language proficiency, use, and preferences. Specifically, the study examines the roles these contexts play in fostering her fluency in English and Malay while highlighting the challenges she faces in maintaining her heritage language, which is Tamil. So, this research is framed within established theories of bilingual and multilingual language acquisition, particularly Cummins' threshold hypothesis, which posits that a certain level of proficiency in one language is necessary to benefit from bilingualism and the interdependence hypothesis, which suggests that skills in one language can transfer to another one. These frameworks are instrumental in understanding how the child's strength in English and Malay supports or potentially hinders her Tamil development, offering her subtle perspective on multilingual dynamics. So let's move on to our next point, which is The study employs a qualitative research approach using semi structured interviews to gather in depth insights into the child's experiences. The interviews were designed to be conversational, allowing the child to openly describe her language practices, preferences, and challenges in her own words. For instance, she explained that English feels natural to her due to early and frequent exposure, while Tamil feels difficult because she rarely uses it and lacks access to learning resources. The data collection process also included examples of her daily language use, such as her preferences for English language media and the ways her family supports Tamil learning through informal methods like explaining vocabulary or discussion discussing cultural topics. So the recorded interviews were carefully analyzed to identify recurring themes and patterns, such as her reliance on English for entertainment, the influence of her school in strengthening Malay proficiency, and the limited but meaningful role of Tamil in cultural context. By connecting these findings of linguistic theories, the study provides a well rounded understanding of her multilingual journey. The results of this research have significant implications for parents, educators, and also policymakers. They highlight the importance of intentional strategies to support weaker languages and emphasizes the need for environments that promote balanced multilingualism. For example, incorporating structured Tamil language activities, providing access to diverse media in all three languages, and encouraging conversational practice can help address the gaps in a multilingual development. This study not only captures the child's unique experiences but also contributes to broader discussions on effective strategies for raising and educating multilingual children in culturally diverse settings. So, let's move on to our next content, which is findings and discussion. So, let's start off with multilingualism in children. One of the most striking findings of this study is the child's remarkable ability to navigate multiple languages, reflecting her cognitive flexibility and adaptability. Her frequent code switching, such as saying, Amma, give me tani. As you can see, it's a mix of English and Tamil, demonstrates how she blends languages seamlessly in everyday conversations. This code switching is a common feature among multilingual individuals and serves as a tool for expressing ideas more effectively and comfortably in different contexts. It showcases her ability to draw from the strengths of each language to communicate with clarity and precision. However, her struggle with Tamil reveals her well documented phenomenon known as the heritage language challenge, where second generation speakers often face difficulties maintaining proficiency in their heritage language. For the child, Tamil is primarily used for specific purposes such as asking for explanations or discussing cultural topics with her parents. This limited use restricts her opportunities to develop fluency, particularly in reading and writing, which requires sustained exposure and practice. The findings also emphasize the importance of early language exposure in developing proficiency. English, her dominant language, was introduced early and consistently, reinforced through family interactions, school instructions, and media consumption. This early foundation enables her to express herself fluently and expand her vocabulary in English with easily. Conversely, Tamil's late and limited introduction, coupled with a lack of structured learning opportunities, poses challenges for her to achieve similar proficiency like English and Malay. These observations align with linguistic research, underscoring the significance of consistent exposure and practice in language acquisition. So let's move on to our next point, which is language context of learning, which is also home language practices. This child's multilingual development is profoundly influenced by her immediate environment, also including family, school, and media. At home, English is the primary language of communication with her siblings, creating a strong foundation for her fluency. Malay is frequently spoken with her parents, reflecting its importance in her daily life and its status as the national language in Malaysia. Tamil, however, is used infrequently, often restricted to discussions about cultural of or heritage related topics. This variation in language usage within her family illustrates the role of frequency and context of exposure in determining language proficiency. Media consumption is another significant factor shaping her language preference and also skills. The child actively engages with English language media such as TV shows, books, and also online content such as in YouTube, podcast, something like that, which she finds more engaging and relatable. She mentioned that English programs are funny and easy to understand, providing her with a steady stream of new vocabulary and reinforcing her comprehension skills. In contrast, Tamil media is less accessible for her with fewer resources available at home. She noted that there are not many Tamil books in her household, further limiting her exposure and practice opportunities for the language of Tamil. Malay occupies an intermediate position, strengthened by its formal instruction at school and frequent use in everyday instruction outside the home and also inside the home with her parents. Her ability to switch effortlessly between English and Malay highlights the role of structured educational environments in supporting bilingual development. However, the lack of Tamil integration in her school curriculum limits her engagement with the language, exacerbating the challenges of maintaining fluency in her heritage tongue, which is Tamil language. So, the next point is learner context. What is the learner context? The child's personal preferences, attitudes, and instinct motivation significantly influence her language learning journey. She expressed a clear preference for English due to its familiarity and ease of use, describing it as her go to language for communication and learning. Her struggles with Tamil, on the other hand, stem from difficulties with pronunciation, vocabularies, and the lack of regular practice, which make the language feel less accessible and more challenging to master for her. Despite these obstacles, the child exhibits a strong desire to improve her Tamil skills. For example, she uses language learning apps such as Duolingo to expand her vocabulary and attempts to incorporate new words into sentences to aid retention. She explained, I use the app to learn new Tamil words, but sometimes it's hard to remember them without someone to talk to, which is a bit sad to hear from her. But this proactive approach reflects her dedication to self directed learning, even, is the, even in the absence of formal instructions, such as from the school or from the teachers. However, it also underscores the limitations of technology as a substitute for meaningful conversational practice and interactions. Her experiences highlight the importance of providing structured interventions to support weaker languages. While her self motivation is commendable, it cannot fully address the gaps caused by limited exposure and a lack of accessible resources. Encouragingly, her openness to using digital tools in this digital world and seeking these additional opportunities for practice suggests that tailored suggestions or tailored strategies can significantly enhance her language learning experiences. So lastly, learning context. Just now we look about learner's context, but this one is learning context. So the child's language development is shaped by both formal and also informal learning environments. At school, Malay serves as the primary medium of instruction, while English is taught as a second language. This structured approach reinforces her proficiency in these two languages, ensuring consistent exposure and practice. However, the absence of Tamil in her formal education limits her ability to engage with the language in a meaningful and sustained manner. She described school as boring when it comes to language learning, highlighting the need for more engaging and interactive teaching methods from the teachers that can capture her interest. But at home, her parents plays a supportive role by encouraging her to use Tamil in specific contexts, such as when they are discussing about cultural topics or clarifying terms. This informal reinforcement from the parents is invaluable for maintaining a connection to her heritage language. However, it is not sufficient to develop fluency without complementary structured opportunities. Strategies such as storytelling in Tamil, cultural activities like Pongal or Deepavali, and the use of multimedia resources could make Tamil learning more engaging and effective. Technology also serves as an important tool in her learning journey. She used apps like Duolingo to supplement her formal education, demonstrating how digital platforms can bridge gaps in traditional learning methods. However, as she pointed out, I try to use it in a sentence so I won't forget, which underscores and reminds us the importance of practical application in retaining new vocabularies. Combining technology with opportunities for conversational practice could significantly enhance her progress in Tamil and other weaker languages that she faces. So, we have come to an end, and I will end this presentation of my case study with a conclusion and also with some recommendations. So, overall, this case study highlights the complexities and subtle of multilingual development in a child navigating English, Malay, and Tamil. Her linguistic journey underscores the critical role of early exposure, consistent practice, and supportive environments in cultivating language proficiency. While her strong foundation in English and Malay reflects the benefits of frequent use, structured learning, and accessible resources, her struggles with Tamil illustrate the challenges of maintaining a heritage language in the face of limited exposure and practice opportunities. These findings underscore the importance of holistic strategies to support children like her in achieving balanced multilingual development. One of the effective approach to addressing these challenges is the incorporation of interactive and culturally relevant activities into her daily routine. For example, activities such as home based storytelling, language focused games like traditional games according to their cultures, and discussions of cultural traditions can make learning Tamil more engaging and meaningful for children like her. For example, parents and caregivers could create opportunities for the child to listen to traditional Tamil stories or traditional Tamil songs or any podcast related to Tamil language or participate in family conversations that emphasizes cultural heritage. These activities not only enhance her vocabulary and comprehension, but also deepen her emotional connection to the language, fostering her sense of pride and motivation to learn. In addition, schools also have a vital role to play by offering differentiated instruction tailored to the unique needs of multilingual learners. Developing programs that provide dedicated support for heritage languages can create structured opportunities for children to strengthen their skills in less dominant languages. For instance, integrating Tamil into the curriculum through specialized language classes or extracurricular activities can provide the child with the necessary scaffolding to improve her reading, writing, and also speaking abilities in her daily life. Such efforts could help bridge the gap between her home environment and formal education, ensuring that all her language receive adequate attentions. We also cannot forget that technology also presents a powerful tool for enhancing language learning. The use of language learning apps, multimedia resources, and online platforms can supplement traditional instruction and provide additional practice opportunities. The child's use of apps like Duolingo demonstrates her willingness to engage with digital tools to improve her skills by her own self, which is something to proud of her because she used her own initiative to do this. However, leveraging technology effectively requires a focus on meaningful application. For instance, pairing app based vocabulary learning with interactive tasks such as crafting sentences or engaging in virtual conversations with native speakers can make the learning process more effective and enjoyable for her and also the children like her out there. Creating supportive social networks where Tamil is actively spoken is another essential strategy that I would suggest for addressing the challenge just of heritage language acquisition. Community-based initiatives such as Tamil speaking clubs or cultural events for Pongal or Deepavali or Thaipusam can provide the child with a natural and safe space to practice the language. These networks can encourage her to use Tamil in real life context, helping her overcome the limitations of sporadic use at home and enabling her to develop fluency through interaction and collaborating with her surroundings. By implementing these all strategies that I mentioned before this, parents, educators, and policymakers can contribute to creating an environment that nurtures multilingual development. Holistic support ensures that children is are not only achieve proficiency in multiple languages but also reap the cognitive, social, and cultural benefits for of multilingualism. For this child that I do case study, the recommendations outlined above hold the potential to transform her challenges into opportunities, enabling her to develop her skills in English, Malay, and Tamil in a balanced, enriching manner. So that's all from me. So I hope my presentation of my case study is clear, in precise, and understandable for you all. So that's all from me. And once again, I'm Kabilan Tiago from TESL A from batch 2328. And that's all for me. Thank you.